Good day, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join today's session. I'm Nisha Ravi from the ServiceDesk Plus team, and I have Akshaya with me, who is from the Analytics Plus team. She will take us through the Analytics Plus side of things today. So, today we will focus on how organizations can enable data driven decisions to bring about strategic improvements in their ITSM operations by leveraging the integration between ServiceDesk Plus and Analytics Plus. Now, you might ask why this is important, right? Now, you might have key goals like ensuring better employee experiences or even optimizing your IT costs, for which you need complete visibility over your ITSM data. And that would help you make data driven decisions and ensure continual service improvement. And that's exactly where this integration comes into the picture. So now, without any further delay, let's dive into the session. Let's take a look at the agenda of the session. What we will be doing is we will showcase how you can take advantage of the integration through various real life use cases. First, we will construct a security incident dashboard by leveraging AI powered analytics capabilities. Then, we will optimize technician workloads with Gen AI powered insights. Following this, we will tackle SLA challenges by utilizing ML powered forecasting models. And finally, we will ensure continual service improvement by capitalizing on decision intelligence engine, which is Spotlight. Let's take a look at both the solutions. A quick overview of ServiceDesk Plus and Analytics Plus. For those of you who are unaware, ServiceDesk Plus is the AI driven unified service management platform that helps organizations build and deliver smart and superior service experiences. Our ITSM platform comes equipped with key capabilities, be it high value AI, which helps you infuse intelligence into your ITSM workflows, boosting your ITSM productivity. You can also orchestrate service operations end to end with our workflow automation engine. You can maintain a single system of record, be it the tickets that are coming into your service desk, or even get a bird's eye view of your IT infrastructure. You can capitalize on the platform capabilities to ensure digitization of workplace service delivery. And finally, you can also build a command center by leveraging the rich integration ecosystem that comes with ServiceDesk Plus. Our ITSM platform supports core ITSM practices, be it incident management, service request management, change enablement, or even IT asset management, which means ServiceDesk Plus ticks all the boxes that you need to ensure a full stack ITSM landscape. We have also achieved ITIL compatibility for 14 ITSM practices. This means that our ITSM platforms can help organizations like yours implement industry standard best practices. This is a quick snapshot of the other analyst recognitions that we have achieved. To give you an idea of Service Desk Plus, this is the enterprise service management portal, which helps you bring different service teams under a single roof. You can enable AI driven self service capabilities for your employees. You can build visual workflows to govern your ITSM operations. You can orchestrate complex IT and business workflows with single touch automation. You can gain a bird's eye view of your IT infrastructure with the native CMDB and keep track of the different ITSM metrics with reports and dashboards. So now over to Akshaya, who will give us an overview of Analytics Plus.
Thank you for briefing us on Service Desk Plus, Nisha. So moving on to Analytics Plus. Analytics Plus is an IT analytics and decision intelligence solution that can seamlessly integrate with your Service Desk Plus. It helps transform raw IT data into meaningful insights, thereby ensuring that service desk managers can make informed decisions, optimize operations, and improve service delivery. With pre-built reports, customizable dashboards, and AI-driven analytics, you can uncover trends, identify bottlenecks, and enhance your IT strategy in ways that drive real impact. Let's take a look at some of the core features of Analytics Plus. Analytics Plus is a self-service platform which enables technicians and managers to create and modify reports without any IT intervention. With the drag and drop report builder and AskZia, our AI powered analytics assistant, you can easily create complex reports without needing any technical expertise. Analytics Plus also supports cross module correlation to correlate data across incidents, assets, change, and problem management to enable holistic decision making. You can now visualize these correlations across your entire IT landscape to implement strategic service improvements in your Service Desk Plus. The interactive and customizable reports and dashboards available on Analytics Plus enables you to gain deeper insights of your Service Desk Plus data with the help of dynamic charts, and we support more than 50 plus chart types, including charts like geomaps, heat maps, word clouds, and so on. The ML powered forecasting engine on Analytics Plus allows you to attain precise predictions of your future data, all without a single line of code and just an intuitive interface. The root cause indicator on Analytics Plus helps you identify factors contributing to specific trends or inefficiencies in your Service Desk Plus. And all of these insights can now be shared securely, published, or even embedded on other platforms for contextual collaboration. With the features and the overview in place, let's take a look at how we can set up the integration between Service Desk Plus and Analytics Plus.
So now we will explore how you can set up the integration from both the perspectives, one being the on-premises version and the other one being cloud version. So let's quickly jump to the on-premises version of Service Desk Plus. This is the on-premises version of Service Desk Plus where I am logged in as the technician. To set up the integration, you can head over to Setup page, scroll down and access integrations under Apps and Add-ons. Under Manage Engine section, you will be able to find Advanced Analytics. And as you scroll down, you can set up the integration from here. All you need to do is provide the IP address and the port number that is associated with your Analytics Plus application. By clicking on Create OAuth, you will be directed to the developer console of Analytics Plus, from where you will be able to retrieve both the client ID as well as the client secret, which can be keyed in right over here. Further, you can set the time frame of synchronization here and save and sync the settings. This way, a workspace will be created on Analytics Plus from where you can access your Service Desk Plus data. So this is how you can enable the integration between the on-premises versions. But how do you do that for the cloud version? Let's quickly navigate to the cloud version of Service Desk Plus, where once again I'm logged in as the technician. From the setup page, you can navigate to Apps and Add-ons and access Analytics Plus. You can enable the Analytics Plus integration with just a single click of a button. It usually takes a couple of minutes to set up the integration, which means data is being pushed from Service Desk Plus into Analytics Plus. You can also sync data periodically between both the solutions. So this way, once again, a workspace would be created on Analytics Plus from where you will be able to access your Service Desk Plus data. So that's how simple it is to enable the integration from both the perspectives. This is how the workspaces would look like once the integration is set up between both the solutions. So coming back, we know how to set up the integration, right? So it's now time to explore the benefits. So we are going to consider a fictional company called Zylker and explore the challenges that Zylker is facing because of traditional reporting mechanisms. And for each of these challenges, we will see how Zylker is able to overcome these challenges by leveraging the integration. So, what is Zylker doing, and what does this scenario exactly look like? Today, Zylker is an international bank which strives to deliver world-class banking experiences for its customers. Zylker's IT leaders want to ensure strategic ITSM improvements while also carrying out their day-to-day service operations. So today they want to strategize their security incident response plans and also meet their SLA compliance commitments without overburdening their technicians. But without advanced analytics, they are unable to strike the right balance. And why is that happening? Just to understand their security incident scenario, they have to manually compile cumbersome reports, which is consuming a lot of time. They do not have complete visibility over their technician workloads, which means they are facing the risk of a burnt out service desk. As the third challenge, they are unable to identify the factors that are influencing SLAs in their environment, and they are facing the threat of breach of their timely targets. And as the final challenge, they are relying on ad hoc trial and error mechanisms to bring about their ITSM improvements, which is definitely not the right way to do so, right? So now that we have an idea of the four different challenges, let's take each of these challenges one by one and find out how Zylker is going to leverage the integration in these scenarios. Diving into the first scenario, where Zylker is trying to understand its security incident landscape. So, like I mentioned earlier, Zylker's service desk managers want to strengthen its incident response plan, which means first they must assess their existing mechanisms, identify the bottlenecks, and carry out targeted improvements, right? But this is easier said than done because critical data is scattered across tools and they have to build complex queries and manually compile reports, which is making this an error prone and time consuming process. So now let's find out how Zylker is able to tackle this situation better with the help of the integration.
So before we go ahead and explore how at Zylker we can utilize Zia, our AI-powered analytics assistant, to tackle these challenges, let me first brief you about Ask Zia, our AI assistant. We all know that getting quick answers to questions can help desk managers like you to take decisions faster. However, gathering all of the data, selecting the metrics, and figuring out answers to such questions could take hours, if not longer. But what if you could achieve this by simply having a conversation? Ask Zia comes into the picture right there. It is designed to eliminate the complexity of traditional reporting workflows. Now you can simply ask the system to generate the insights you need. For instance, you can ask questions like what is my backlog request count, or how many requests are going to breach SLA in the next 2 hours, and so on. So, with just a few conversational prompts, Ask Zia can build detailed and visually rich reports and dashboards instantly. The answers to these questions could actually help you prioritize your activities for the day. So, whether it's tracking incidents, analyzing trends, or comparing team performance, the process is effortless and intuitive. This isn't just about saving time, it's about empowering service desk managers to make better decisions faster. So now, instead of spending time on building the reports, you can focus on interpreting results and taking action. Let's now see how at as how at Zylker, as a service desk manager, I'm going to make use of Zia and gather all of the key insights that I need and build a security incident tracker so that I can respond to these incidents better and also analyze the trends of these incidents. So you can see an empty security incident tracker over here. My Analytics Plus setup is already integrated with ServiceDesk Plus, and I have Ask Zia over here, where I can start asking questions and it would gather all of the metrics for me. So the first question that I'm going to ask Zia is to show me the count of security related incidents in my help desk. And it gives me a widget of the security related incidents in my help desk. Let me add this to the dashboard from the add to dashboard option that I have. I can follow up with more questions to Zia. So the next metric or the KPI that I would like to track is to try and understand the severity of these security incidents. So my next question is to show me the criticality of the security related incidents. And it gives me a report of the security related incidents grouped by the different severity as critical, medium, high, and low. And I can see that there are about 51 critical incidents and so on. I'd like to break down this information further and understand the status of these security incidents. So I'm also going to add another command and by the status. So now it breaks down that information and gives me the status of all of those security incidents. And we have it now classified by the severity and the status of these incidents. So the 51 critical incidents that we saw earlier are now broken down, and we have about 12 open, 12 on hold, 11 resolved, and about 16 closed in them. I can add this to my dashboard as well. Let me quickly add it to the dashboard. And done. I can follow up with more questions to Zia. So the next question that I'm going to ask Zia and that I'd like to track is the weekly average resolution time. So I'm going to ask Zia to show me the weekly average resolution time. And I'd like to track this to see how efficient my technicians are in handling these security incidents. Now it gives me a trend line of the weekly average resolution times from my ServiceDesk Plus. Let me add this to the dashboard as well. And done. And one final KPI that I would like to add to my tracker is regarding the SLA, because SLAs are usually tracked across all our organizations. So the next question that I'm going to ask Zia is, what is the percentage of incidents within SLA for the last month? And great, it gives me a widget of the percentage of incidents within SLA, and I'm going to add this to the tracker as well. And done. So now let's go back to the security incident tracker that we saw earlier, which was empty, and let's refresh it. And you can see that all of the metrics that we gathered using Ask Zia have now been added to this tracker. I can quickly customize this tracker and modify the design of the dashboard. Let me resize and readjust these for better viewing. I've resized the widgets. Let me resize the reports as well, so that we can view them on a single pane. I can also add a pop of color to the dashboard by heading to the settings of the widget. I'm going to mark the incident count in red. And for KPIs like the SLAs, we also have dial charts where you can provide a target value. I'm going to provide a target value of 90 and a maximum range of 100. I can view this as a speedometer as well. Great. I can also quickly change the theme of the dashboard so that it looks more visually appealing and we are good to go. Now, the next step would be to share them with the stakeholders, and I can also share this by embedding this dashboard on ServiceDesk Plus and directly viewing it from there. All I have to do is generate a link of the dashboard, and I'm going to copy this link, head to ServiceDesk Plus, head to the home page of ServiceDesk Plus, where I can add a new dashboard, give a name to the dashboard as Security Incident Tracker, customize this, and provide the right configurations. And under new drop down over here, you have the option to add a URL widget where I can give a name for the tracker. Again, I'm going to name it as Security Incident Tracker and provide the URL that we copied from Analytics Plus by generating a link of the dashboard. Once done, I can add the URL widget and just have to update the layout. The dashboard that we built there on Analytics Plus has now been embedded on ServiceDesk Plus, and I can directly view the dashboard or the tracker from ServiceDesk Plus without even having to navigate to Analytics Plus. Another quick trivia that I'd like to give is that you can access Ask Zia with this from the Zia chatbot that's there on your ServiceDesk Plus portal over here. By clicking on it, you can head over to the Zia reports action, which will then redirect you to Ask Zia console. Yeah. And you can then straight away start asking questions to Zia and gather all of the insights that you need from your ServiceDesk Plus. As you can see, our AI-powered analytics assistant is incredibly powerful. By simply asking Zia specific questions, I've been able to gather the key metrics and build an intuitive security incident dashboard in no time. This isn't just about saving time, like I mentioned earlier. It's about discovering insights and fast tracking data driven decision making by simply having a conversation. With this approach, as a security incident manager, I can quickly get the insights I need to stay ahead of bottlenecks and respond sooner to them. Reporting has now become automated, easily accessible, and customizable. With AskZia, you can transform the way you interact with your IT data. There's no complex queries or manual effort involved, just instant insights at your fingertips. So, whether it's tracking asset life cycles and IT spend to optimizing resource allocation and managing your project milestones, AskZia ensures you always have the right information to make informed decisions effortlessly. Let's now take a look at the next challenge.
Here, Zylker faces the challenge of a burnt out service desk. So, Zylker's IT leaders believe that having happy and well supported technicians would help them deliver IT services on time, but their metrics tell us a completely different story. Their technician utilization rate is moving past 100%, which means that cracks are beginning to show. Their technicians are not just overloaded, but they face the risk of a burnt out service desk. But with complex data sets and raw graphs, they have limited context at hand, which is hindering their efforts to reorganize their technician workloads. So let's see how Zilker is able to navigate this situation once again by leveraging the integration.
So, before we go ahead and explore how Zylker is going to tackle that challenge, let me first show you a report that's tracked by Zylker. Here you have the key metrics of technicians report, and I'd like to take a poll over here and understand how many of you have faced the challenge of interpreting a complex report like this one that you see on the screen. in your organization. All right, thank you. Thank you for the answers. So let's be honest, interpreting something like this can take a lot of time and manual effort, right? Now, sifting through heaps of data to uncover meaningful insights can get overwhelming. And that's where Zia Insights comes in. Powered by generative AI, Zia automatically analyzes all of your reports to generate meaningful and clear insights. Zia Insights can help you dive deep into the KPIs and identify the underlying factors without the need for any manual calculations. I'm again going to assume the role of Service Desk Manager at Zylker and show you how I can utilize Zia Insights to get all the information that I need from this report. So we have the Zia Insights button here, and with just a click of a button, Zia Insights will give me a narrative summary of all the information from this report. It picks out key trends, highlights critical metrics, and gives me all the actionable insights all in seconds. For instance, over here, we know that the report talks about the key metrics of technicians, but Zia Insights highlights all of the key KPIs. For instance, it tells me that the report talks about the total number of incidents resolved within the same week by each of these technicians, the total average time to resolve taken by these technicians, and the total percentage of reopen requests contributed by these technicians. And let's take a look at one of the KPI, which is the total percentage of reopen requests. It also highlights the lowest contributor to that KPI and the highest contributor to that KPI, and so on. And with this particular KPI, it highlights that Emily Davis is the lowest contributor and Michael Wilson is a highest contributor for the percentage of reopened requests in my help desk, with a difference of 80%, a significant difference. And all of these in general, if I were to get the insights, I would need to do a lot of manual calculations, whereas Zia Insights just picks out all of these insights for me. Now I know that I need to get hold of Michael Wilson, who has been contributing to a lot of reopen requests, and understand what's going wrong, or if he needs additional training, so that the way he handles the incidents and requests are better, and they get resolved only after providing proper solutions, and they don't get reopened, right? And in Analytics Plus, we also have visual insights for people who find it cumbersome to read long narrative texts. The visual insights highlights the same KPIs that we saw earlier in a visual format. For instance, here it gives me the number of technicians in my help desk, the total number of incidents resolved within the same week that we saw earlier in the form of a widget, and the highest contributor and the lowest contributor to that specific KPI, again in the form of visuals, and so on. And in addition to all of these narrative summaries, Analytics Plus or the Zia Insights feature on Analytics Plus helps you identify underlying factors within these reports. For instance, for any time series analysis, like the one that's here, where we have an SLA compliance trend on a month-on-month basis, when I click on Zia Insights, it will again highlight all of the key trends from the SLA analysis, but it also helps me understand factors contributing to specific deviations from within this report. For instance, here it highlights that in January 2025, the requests within SLA has decreased by about 47%. And I have a diagnose button enabled here that will give me the underlying factors contributing to the percentage of decrease for requests within SLA. And it highlights the four key drivers that are contributing to this specific deviation. For instance, it tells me that this month could probably have a high number of high priority requests or a high impact requests, and so on. So with That's Zia Insights for you. There was no manual effort or guesswork involved, just clear insights that you can trust. Generative AI on Analytics Plus doesn't just simplify your reports, it empowers you to make smarter, faster decisions without getting lost in the data. With Zia Insights, I was able to transform Zylker's data heavy report into easy to understand, concise summaries for faster comprehension and more informed decision making. In a similar manner, Zia Insights can help you summarize your SLA analysis, IT spends, and even help you manage your incident management metrics better. Let's now take a look at the next challenge.
Moving on to the third scenario, here Zylker is struggling to ensure SLA compliance. Once again, diving into the thoughts of Zylker's IT leaders, they consider that timely delivery of IT services is a hallmark for seamless banking experiences. So they would like to ensure that their SLA compliance is at about 95%. But once again, they find that this is an uphill task. And why is that so? They rely on historical data to understand SLA trends instead of factoring in the different contributing factors or understanding the underlying factors that impact SLA compliance in their service environment. Now, because of these constraints in place, they face the threat of breaching their timely targets. So now let's understand how Zilker can better handle this situation with the integration.
Again, we all know that managing an IT help desk is a constant balancing act, right? Whether it's anticipating ticket volumes to preventing incidents before they can escalate, service desk managers often face the dual challenge of having to plan ahead and stay proactive. With Analytics Plus, we bring you the power of machine learning to address these challenges seamlessly, all without writing a single line of code. Imagine being able to predict ticket volumes, SLA compliance, or even technician workloads with precision. Analytics Plus uses ML powered forecasting engine to analyze your historical data and provide you with accurate predictions. Again, I'm going to assume the role of a service desk manager at Zylker. And let's take a look at another KPI that's tracked at Zylker, the weekly average resolved requests, or the number of requests that get resolved on an average in my Service Desk Plus. And tracking this KPI helps me identify if the workloads of technicians are balanced, understand if there are any seasonal patterns in resolution trends, or even how efficiently the technicians are handling their backlogs and so on. And forecasting this data can help me as a service desk manager to plan future resolution capacities and plan our technician availability more effectively. So to forecast this data, I'm going to utilize the forecasting engine on Analytics Plus with just the button available over here. When I click on it, I have the option to forecast and I have to select add forecast, select the KPI that I would like to forecast from the report. I also have the option to choose influencing factors that I think would contribute to the forecast of the data. For instance, here we are going to forecast the number of requests that would get resolved on an average. And some of the contributing factors that could affect the number of requests that get resolved include the incoming requests. So I'm going to add that as one of the influencing factors. And another influencing factor is the average time taken to resolve incidents in general by my technicians. That could also affect the number of requests that get resolved on an average each week. So once I select the influencing factors, Analytics Plus auto chooses the vector auto regression model to forecast the data. We also support a lot of other forecasting models like ARIMA, ETS, STL regression. But when you choose the influencing factors, Analytics Plus auto chooses the vector auto regression. And over here as well, I have the capability to choose custom auto-regressive value. However, I'm not going to go too much into the technical details and let Analytics Plus auto choose the auto-regressive value for me. And I can then choose the forecast length to forecast the data. Here I'm choosing the forecast length as 5 weeks. And I have to just click on apply, and this would forecast the data for me. So over here, you can see that the dotted line gives me the forecast for the next 5 weeks, and I can see a dip in a particular week and a spike in a particular week. And this will help me plan my resources better. And when you click on any of these data points, it will give you the model that was used for forecasting, as well as other parameters and calculations that was used to forecast the data. This means that the predictions here are not just accurate, but they are also tailored to the unique patterns of my organization. For instance, Analytics Plus understood that the influencing factor of average resolution time, and it took that into consideration to give me a highly customized and actionable forecast. With just a few clicks at Zylker, I can now prepare for seasonal spikes and allocate resources more effectively. Let's now explore how at Zylker I can stay ahead of potential escalations before they impact our IT operations. For that, we have the AutoML feature on Analytics Plus. AutoML feature on Analytics Plus allows us to build custom machine learning models that learns from past historical data and identify patterns from that data. For instance, here I have a historical data set of incidents and service requests and all of the other parameters pertaining to those requests, including severity, the priority, the category, and also the escalated status of these requests. I can now build a machine learning model using the AutoML feature and train it to learn from this historical data set to identify patterns of escalation. So let's see how we can do that. I have to click on create new analysis and choose the prediction model and choose my historical data set as the training table and choose my target column because I'm going to identify whether my live tickets are going to get escalated or not, and select create. Once done, I have the option to give a name for the analysis, and I'm going to name it as escalation prediction analysis. And I also have the capability to provide influencing factors over here. So here again, I'm going to provide the priority of the request, the overdue status, the severity of the request, the category of the request, and so on as some of the factors that could contribute to escalations. I can choose the prediction type as regression or classification. And I'm going to allow Analytics Plus to choose the prediction model as classification. I also have the capability to choose multiple from the multiple pre-built algorithms that are available for each of these prediction models. I'm again going to let Analytics Plus choose the default ones, which is the decision tree classification and random forest classification. And I just have to click on create and train. Once done, this will start learning from the historical data that we provided earlier. Now, this is going to take some time. Once the training is complete, I can deploy the machine learning model to my live request data where all my requests are in the open status and identify whether these requests or incidents will get escalated or not. The machine learning model will learn from the historical data set, identify patterns of escalation, and then apply it to the live data set to give me an output of the tickets that are likely to get escalated. So here it has highlighted the requests that are likely to get escalated as true. Now I know that I need to action these requests as soon as possible and ensure that they are resolved before they can get escalated or before they breach the SLAs. The AutoML feature and the AI-powered forecasting engine allows help desk managers like you to proactively monitor and act on tickets that align with known patterns and ensure that they are addressed before becoming bigger challenges. It's not just about reacting to incidents, it's about building a proactive strategy to improve the overall service desk efficiency. With this feature, you will also be able to forecast workload scenarios and even predict outage patterns in your organization. This delivers a data driven approach to both planning and proactive operations, all through a no code and intuitive interface. Let's now take a look at the next challenge.
Moving on to the final and the fourth scenario where Zylker is facing issues with ensuring ITSM improvements. So once again, here Zylker's IT leaders want to ensure strategic ITSM improvements to deliver better banking experiences to its customers across the world. But here they are faced with vast oceans of ITSM data. They are unable to make sense of it, they are unable to connect the dots, and which means they are unable to identify the bottlenecks and take corrective improvements to ensure continual service improvement. So let's see how Zylker's IT leaders can overcome this challenge by leveraging the integration. But before we dive into the capability of the integration that can step in right now, let's first understand how the analytics journey would look like for Zylker and organizations like yours. It would start off with compiling detailed reports, right, to understand how your ITSM metrics would look like. And then you would gain key insights from your ITSM metrics and predict the trends for incoming tickets to understand or forecast scenarios. But what would make your analytics journey even more effective is to gain contextual recommendations so that you can take corrective actions. That's exactly what our decision intelligence engine Spotlight can help you with. So now I'm going to assume the role of a service desk manager in Zylker and find out how Spotlight is going to do the heavy lifting for me. Taking you to the Spotlight setup. So this is how Spotlight looks like. And Spotlight can score through data across different ITSM modules, be it incident management, service request management, change enablement, or even IT asset management. So I need not take the trouble of sifting through volumes of data or even going through manual cumbersome reports. Spotlight would dive into my ITSM data. It would understand the bottlenecks within the ITSM data and prioritize them as well. It would also give me intelligent contextual recommendations so that I can take the right corrective action at the right time. For instance, Spotlight has understood that technicians in my organization are struggling to deal with ticket volumes that come in between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. So, Spotlight recommends that I should increase the number of technicians available during this time so that they can manage their workload better. To cite another example, Spotlight has identified that three of my requesters are coming up with the most number of asset related requests. So it also gives me a suggestion to overcome this challenge. So, the challenge that has been identified is the asset related issues reported by the three different requesters, right? So, Spotlight gives me a contextual recommendation where I can now understand that I need to analyze asset usage patterns. And it has also prioritized this bottleneck, which means I can take the right action at the right time and stay on top of service improvements in my ITSM environment. So, coming back, we saw how Spotlight can do the heavy lifting. Instead of me manually going through numerous data, manual, cumbersome reports, Spotlight can dive into ITSM metrics across modules and give me contextual intelligent recommendations so that I can take the right actions at the right time, ensuring continual service improvements. Before we wind up the session, a quick highlight on what we saw today. We saw how you can craft security incident reports and dashboards by leveraging AI powered analytics capabilities. Then we understood how you can optimize your technician workloads by taking advantage of Gen AI powered intelligent insights. And then we found out how you can address your SLA challenges by utilizing the ML powered forecasting engines, and we saw how you can enable continual service improvement by leveraging Spotlight, which is our decision intelligence engine. This is another additional information. The products that we showcased in our webinar today belong to the Enterprise Edition. So if you are interested to explore how the Enterprise Edition would help you solve your business requirements, you can always write to us at the email IDs that are displayed on your screen. And once again, thank you so much for taking the time and joining the session today. I hope you found this very useful.